Hello and welcome to another video and welcome to Texas. I'm here for a change of scenery, to get a feel for the place and to spend some time with some cool people. This is strategically timed to get super excited about my training before embracing the winter over in Scotland, where some days are easier than others. Starting the day off here with some hot and cold exposure for my head more than anything else. So far, I love it here. A city that is smaller and more accessible than I expected, with amazing food, live music, great culture, and an unbelievable training environment. Aside from the challenge of America's grid system, meaning that running in urban environments involves a lot of stop-starting. I'm coming back from my most recent marathon carrying a few niggles, lingering hip bursitis from running 250 kilometers in one go in March, coupled with a bit of irritation around my left shin/ankle. It does mean that I'm not quite as athletically available as I hoped I would be out here, but I'm sending it nonetheless. Going into winter, I have some clear goals. Build from my previous marathon prep to work towards sub 3 at some point in the spring. Reacclimatise myself with the skills of swimming and cycling to then ramp up triathlon specific volume after my next marathon. Get leaner and a little lighter as I'm carrying some body fat that has no real strength or endurance utility at the moment. Overcome some personal and business challenges that I've been working through, which I'll update on in due course. And most importantly, be rid of these niggles that are stopping me from building momentum at the moment. That's why I'm here, really, to put myself in a new and intense environment to get myself primed and ready to tackle these goals. So far, the people I've spent time with here, the places I've trained, and the opportunity that I can perceive confirm that I made the right decision to do so. So, join me for a double training day as I start to get back to structured training post-marathon, with today being a track and lower body day. Worth mentioning as well that I'll normally advocate for and prioritise lifting before running within the context of a double day, but as always, practicality wins, and given Austin's temperature and heat throughout the day, had to get the running done first before lifting later in the day, just so I didn't, have a heat stroke, heart attack or something like that.
Okay, first things first, forgot to bring some chamois cream over and couldn't find any, so I have made use with a Vaseline all over body balm. So if you don't mind, I'm going to put this all over my balls. There's a story there.
Looks like a berry.
And we are at the track, and a beautiful sunrise we have as well. Matt Joy just behind us here, and he's told me to keep this a undisclosed location as it's a little bit lesser known. Beautiful setting. I have a 2K warm-up into 6x800 meters at moderate to hard effort with a 2K cool down at the end, equal rest between sets on the 800s. I think Matt's got 500s, but we'll check in with him in a second, see what he's up to. This is my second track session out here in Austin, and it is such a cool place to get early morning training done. Track facilities are world class. Everybody's out getting after it in every sort of part of the city that I've been to. And it's just a really cool place to build a structure around training, which I've enjoyed doing thus far. I'm gonna get started because there is a slight concern that given this is a high school track, somebody might come and say, hey, what are you doing on school property during school hours? Goodbye. Okay, 2K warm up, and main things that I'm focusing on at the moment are just kind of loosening off my calves and Achilles, because that's where I've been suffering the most post-marathon. Really excited to be recovered and back into a sort of training structure post-marathon, and even more excited to build from my previous marathon prep, do my best not to get injured this time, and go full bore towards sub 3 at some point in the spring next year. Exactly when that's going to be, I will confirm shortly once I've got a race date. But let's kick things off on the channel in terms of my next sub 3 prep and a big winter of running focused training with today's session. Let's go. What's your session today, Matt?
We're doing 12 rounds of decreasing 500s. So the first set's 5 reps, then 4 reps, 3 reps, 2 reps, 1 rep, and then you just gotta get a little faster.
What are you training for at the moment?
New York City Marathon, but I'm really training for High Rocks.
Oh.
High Rocks, baby, Chicago, let's go.
Oh. Okay, 6x800, rep number 1, let's go. Rep 1, 247, nice and easy. Although, that heat is picking up. Rep 2, 243, a little bit tougher, but still smooth. This is so good. So good. So good. You're still filming? Rep 3, 240. Getting tougher, but I'm going to try and maintain ascending pace the whole way through. So 3 more reps. Ideally, they're all going to be 240 or faster. If this video gets 2,000 likes, I will apply for an O1 visa to spend 6 months of the year in America. Maybe even more than 6 months. 2,000 likes. Deal? 3, 2, 1. Rep 4, 238. It's hard now. It's hard. Next 2 reps are going to be hellish. I wish that had been 239, so I didn't need to go 2 seconds quicker. I've made my life more difficult for myself, and I've now publicly stated I wanted all the remaining 3 to be under 240. We could just cut that. Elliot, we'll talk about this. We'll talk. Given I am in America, there is no better example of the right tool for the wrong job than the beloved pickup truck. According to the National Bureau of Economic Research, 75% of these bad boys will never be used for their intended purpose. So let's talk about the right tools for the right job, and let's actually stay on the topic of daily drivers. Starting with this, my daily, the Stubble & Co hybrid 30-litre backpack, which I'm using out here as I do at home, as my daily gym/work bag. Functional, stylish, and great mileage. Next up is the HGV, the 65-litre kit bag. When I'm traveling, I use this as my check bag, and when I'm at home, I use it kind of generally as my endurance training kit bag, albeit with the slightly smaller 40-litre version, and there is even a 30-litre version available if you don't have quite as ridiculous amount of training kit as I do. Either way, this is a great diesel-fueled long-haul option. Then we have what I'm going to call the tourist option, the packable backpack, which is the vehicle equivalent to getting yourself on an electric scooter. Lightweight, simple, easy to access, and ultimately space effective. Finally, we have the go-kart, better known as the packable sling, nimble in corners, a great starting point, and with minimal bells and whistles. This is, however, road legal and doesn't require a helmet. Great for city breaks, traveling through airports, phones, wallets, general valuables if you're walking around, etc., etc. So upgrade your fleet and be part of the 25% using the right tools for the right jobs by using the code Fergus15 or using the link in the description down below, which by the way is the best discount they've ever given. Rep 5, 239. I'm gonna be honest, I really feel a drop off there. I'm gonna take this rest and then I might hit a 6 at an easy pace, or I might just call it 5, because that was tough and I fell off the pace. So, I mean, still sub 240, so technically that was the target. So actually, this monologue was a waste of time and I should just go full bore with a decent rest to 240 on the last one. That's 90 seconds of your life you're not getting back. Oh, yeah, buddy.
Merca.
Okay, so 227 rest. In theory, I've got 10 seconds left. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take 4 minutes just to really let my heart rate and lactic settle, and then give it a good bash for rep number 6. Just trying to focus on quality. If I feel like I'm pushing too hard and actually being, I guess, not sensible and a bit egotistical about it, just because I'm having such a good time, then I'll call it there, because essentially pushing through sessions like this when you feel like you're on the cusp, a lot of the maturity I feel I've developed over the years through a big variety of disciplines is knowing when to put your foot to the floor and when to take your foot off the gas. So let's find out which of the two it is. 50 seconds left. Okay, I want this one to be under 240 as well, but I suspect it will. Rep 6. Rep 6, 240. Yes. shade. Oh. Always so tough in the moment, but
Dude, tough in the moment.
yeah, rewarding afterwards, especially settings like this one. Next week, what do you think we should do?
And we could do the all-out mile, which is like my favorite challenge, or maybe we do some high rock stuff, buddy. People decide.
Cut. All jokes aside, comment down below what Matt and I should do. Today's Tuesday. We're going to sync up again on Monday, Tuesday next week. We will actually have done something by then, but I am back in Austin in April next year and might even be back before that. So drop a comment down below with what you think we should get up to for some video collaborative related shenanigans. Other than that, that was a really, really good session. Just enjoyed being out in the sun. Heat was tough. 9:28. I have a call at 10, so we actually very much need to get back to the hotel so I can shower, cool down, and be on time for that call. Hello, sir. How are we? Oh, nice new home gym. Wow. Wow. Had me fooled. Oh, it's gone.
Calls and a few emails done. I'm finally having some real food again. I've got about 400 grams of vanilla fat-free yogurt with raspberries, blueberries, and 4 crushed up Lotus biscuits because they are undoubtedly the best thing in the world and nobody can tell me otherwise. And I have myself a nice coffee with some French vanilla creamer because I heard a lot about it growing up on Disney TV shows. And you know what? That's quite delicious. So I now understand why people go, can I get a coffee with creamer, please? Anyway, it is 11:36. I'm gonna have this, I'm gonna get on with a little bit more work, and then we're gonna plan the rest of the day and probably head to the gym at about 12:30, 1-ish.
Oh no.
Good news, today's lifting felt almost as good as that transition was. What a setting. Lift ATX, a proper lifting gym that really helps me reconnect with the meathead within and feel like a kid in a candy store all over again. Kicking today off with deadlifts, as that hip niggle has stopped me squatting for almost 6 months now. Top sets at 210 kilos or 465 pounds in freedom units for 2 sets of 2, which moved well given a hard effort at the track this morning. Hit my back off sets with some sumo technical work as I haven't pulled sumo for a while. I've been allocating some time to just getting comfortable with heavier weights again. 170 for 2, 180 for 2, and 190 for 2, all feeling smooth and fast, and technically speaking, I'm feeling more familiar week by week. While sumo is great at upsetting people on the internet, it is also a very technical movement, so needs focused attention to get nailed. Moving on to what I shall call maximum deficit deadlifts, a great exercise for developing leg drive and developing strength through an increased range of motion. 120 kilos for 8, 130 kilos for 8, and then an AMRAP at 140 kilos for a tough set of 12. Putting the knee sleeves on for what until today has been the only squat movement I could rely upon. However, a few reps into what was meant to be 4 sets of 8 on belt squat became 1 set of 6 as my hip didn't like this. Not ideal, not ideal. So unfortunately, this led me to the conclusion that I should therefore hit 5 sets of dumbbell walking lunges rather than 3. So I did exactly that, hitting 5 sets of 20 reps with 60-pound dumbbells, and honestly, the biggest challenge was being exposed to the sun here, which says a lot, as the lunges were pretty rank too. A great day of training overall, and one that makes me hyper aware of how much value comes from changing up your training environment every once in a while. I'm also hyper aware of how unconditioned I am to this climate, so that needs some work. But if you're from the UK like me, what a difference some reliable sunshine can make, eh?
I absolutely adore that gym. Proper meatheadery and just calibrated plates, specialist equipment everywhere. Just, yeah, really feels like home, dare I say. I have 40 grams of protein in the form of a strawberry shortcake milkshake, which I'm hoping will quench my thirst as well as hit that made up anabolic window. But driving here with some 2000s to 2015 sort of pop punk music, slamming some caffeine and coming to lift in the sun at a gym like that just put a big old smile on my face. I've had a fantastic day today, and I am really, to be honest, in Austin to reflect on my environment. I booked this to kind of just get some time away from some things that I'm working through. If I'm being entirely honest, the past 3 to 6 months I haven't been doing all that well. I feel I've done a pretty good job of continually showing up here on YouTube, but I need to make some changes. We moved house the Monday before we flew out here on the Tuesday, which was chaos, and that's going to be a really, really exciting, really, really positive move for Erin and I and all future plans. But for whatever reason, I just felt a bit disconnected from my training for the past 3 to 6 months. It's felt a little bit too intertwined with work, and I'm missing the escapism and pure joy, enjoyment that comes from it. That is the whole reason I got into this in the first place. So I'm trying to reassess and recalibrate on my controllables so I can practice what I preach and try and take action to put myself in a better headspace. It'll take time. I've been here before, as most of you all know. But yeah, I haven't been all that great. So I just want to really underline and reiterate that whatever persona you believe me to have on the internet, whatever persona you expect of somebody who trains a lot consistently, all of the things I talk about, I don't know, I'm still very susceptible to all of the day-to-day ups and downs and emotional turmoil and questions and wondering if we're doing the right thing, all that sort of stuff. And yeah, the past 3 to 6 months I've been in a bit of a hole with it. And being out here is really helping me unpack and process all of the things that I want to try and tackle head on to take home with me. So I'm going to get back to the hotel, I'm going to get showered, I'm going to pick Erin up, we're going to go into Barton Springs, which is like a natural man-made pool in something beginning with K Park in Austin. There's not actually much tourism stuff to do in Austin. It's kind of a bat bridge, which is nothing to do with Batman, unless it is. So given that I am very much eating like a maniac and training like a maniac, and Erin doesn't really do either of those things, there's definitely a winner on this trip thus far. But that is today's video. If you have enjoyed the video, do make sure to hit like, make sure to have hit subscribe down below, and drop a comment with any suggestions as to where I go next, and whether or not I should maybe explore the option of an O1 visa. But that obviously requires 2,000 likes as well, so make sure to do step number 1. And arguably most importantly, make sure to grab yourself a Stubble & Co backpack, as they have a level of versatility across their range that I, as a self-proclaimed internet hybrid athlete, could only ever dream of. So make sure to use the link and or the code in the description down below, and whilst you're there, hit the little bell icon so that you can get notified when more Austin related YouTube content comes out very, very soon. Exciting rest of week to follow, and I've got the F1 at the weekend, which will be very good fun. Goodbye.